Today, we're going to take all this mess on the table and stick it in my vehicle. We're going to do an install of the Anysecu Mini Mobile Radio. Alright folks, welcome back. So you see all the accessories here for this little radio here. We reviewed this radio recently, this little guy. Everything is controlled on the screen on this radio. This is just the box. We're going to be putting it in the vehicle today. That's the antenna I'm going to be using back there. This is the mount. We're going to use a lip mount here on the front hood of the vehicle. And the reason I'm doing this is because I do have a Yaesu 8900 in the vehicle. And the problem is my antenna is on the roof. And it's a fold-over antenna, similar to that one. But I'm lazy. I admit it. I don't put it up enough. I'm not able to listen to local traffic and see what's going on in the world and listen to my radio. And I feel like I'm losing out when I'm driving because I don't get to listen to it. So I wanted a secondary radio in the vehicle with an antenna, and mounting it on the hood roof, the hood slip mount, we'll be able to drive in my garage with, and I won't have to fold it down. So I basically will always have a radio that I can turn on. If things get, hairy and crazy and I got to communicate a little bit further, I can always stop the vehicle, pop up my other antenna on the roof of the vehicle, and communicate that way. So that's why I did this. I kind of want to have an everyday radio that I use every day instead of being lazy and not using it. So we're going to be installing this today. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. The first thing we're going to do is put the antenna mount on. And like you see here, that's how it's going to go. It's going to go right on the lip of the hood of the antenna, or the, I don't know what they call it, bonnet, if you're from the UK. And speaking of the UK, that's how I found this radio. For those of you that don't know, there is a channel called Ringway Manchester. And he reviews all sorts of different radios, as well as has some very interesting content on older ham radio stuff that went on in the UK, older installations where there were repeaters, all sorts of stuff. And he reviewed this radio, and I was really impressed with it. So I picked one up, and I thought, that's perfect. It's small, it's tiny, it'll fit right in my vehicle. Even the mount for it is really, really tiny. So what we're going to do today is pop this in. Now, I'm not going to waste too much time talking here. We're going to get right to the vehicle. I'm going to pull it out of my garage. We're going to do this in the driveway because it's a little more light, and I don't have to run artificial light. And we're going to start off with mounting that in there and running it through the firewall. Alright, so we've got the hood of the Jeep up here, and you see along this lip, that's where I'm going to be installing it. And this is how it's going to go, okay? It's going to go up in that lip. You'll notice the little screws in here, and this is padded. And I don't really care if it digs into this part, because I'm not going to be seeing that. If it does any damage or scratching, that's where it's going to be connecting. They do have a piece of steel that can go back there. I'm not going to bother with it. We're just going to tighten this down. This does come with all the tools. I forgot I have to lift my hands up high enough. So you have both tools for this. This is made by Bingfu, and I will leave a link down in the description on where you can pick these up. Everything that I show in the video as far as stuff that we're mounting in the car, I will leave a link in the description for. So we're going to mount this on there. I'll bring you back once it's on there secure. And then we're going to tighten all this stuff up so I get it at the right angle. I want the antenna as straight up down as possible. And I also don't want it to rotate, so I got to tighten that up too, that little axis that way. So first let me get this on here and I'll bring you right back. Alright, so you can see the little wrench in there. What I did was I tightened this up to hand tight. I've got 4 of them, so that's enough contact points that I don't think it's going to go loose on me. I didn't want to go too nuts because, let's face it, this isn't an expensive mount. I don't want to strip it out, so we're just putting it kind of, pretty decent tight, like that. I would say that's good. I don't want to really push my luck with it. And what we're going to do now is lower the hood, and I'm not going to worry about where I'm going to run this just yet, but as you can see, I need to make this level and this flat, so I'm going to put the antenna on once I get it about where I want it. And we'll show you where we can go from there, and then we'll open it back up and run it through the firewall. As a matter of fact, I could probably do that next. Now, in this vehicle, the firewall is very easy to find. You won't have any trouble finding it, the little hole between the firewall, I mean. So you have to check it out and see where it is in your vehicle. But in this one, it's literally right down there. I'm going to move the camera around and show you feeding it through there, and it will come right through into the dash, and you'll be able to get it from there. You can actually see my power wires running into it from here. It will come back down in there and go all the way into that hole. So what we're going to try to do, if I find the end of this cable, is run it through there and see, I'm not sure that will fit through that tip. We're going to run it through there and see how well we can find it on the inside. I'm not sure what I'm going to be finding on the other end of this. Hopefully it just comes right underneath the dashboard and it's real easy to get out. So let me do that, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Alright, so that was really actually pretty simple. It really did come in right under the dash. I did have to shine a flashlight up in there to see where it was, but I basically followed the red and black power wires that run in off the battery from my other radio. And I was able to find it real easy and pull it down. I'm going to take you to the other side of the vehicle, show you what it looks like inside. It's just basically a massive wire sitting on the floor, but you'll get the idea. Alright, so there it is inside. We are going to make it nice and neat. I'm not just going to leave a big pile of wire on the ground. But that's how it came in, very, very simply. So if you find that little hole between your vehicle's firewall there and the dashboard, things will run much smoother for you. So let's get the wire all cleaned up and put away. And we're going to hook up the power to it, but I also want to straighten out the antenna first. So I'm going to be doing more work on the antenna on the hood there. I'm going to close the hood down and see how I can put the wire away neatly under it and basically get all that stuff organized. So give me a sec and I'll bring you right back. Alright, so that's what it should look like when it's done. Now I want you to notice something here. This moves freely. Alright, so you don't have any pinch points there. Nothing's pinched. I just kind of tucked it carefully under there, you know, as it closes, and eventually it will just kind of take its own shape like that. Now what we're going to do is get all this stuff tightened up, and then I'll put on the antenna and make sure this is level from side to side, and we will take it inside and then do the install part on the inside. Alright, so there it is. It is perfectly mounted. Now there are a bunch of adjustment points on this antenna. Even the little screw underneath the antenna to make it nice and tight in there. It was I got everything really tight, and then the antenna was wobbling. I'm like, what the heck? Well, there's a little wrench on the other side. There's a little bolt on the other side that has to be tightened down as well while you're holding that piece. So we're all set up out front. I have taken it sideways a little bit. We're going to back you up a little bit. Let's see what it looks like. I have taken it a little, like it was like this, but on the car it looked like this. So I had to move it back a little bit. But that's because the hood is slanted downward, so I did have to move it back a little bit. But that is just absolutely perfect. I even took a level, and I just eyeballed that. The level was right in the center, so that's pretty good. Now, let's work on getting the inside done. The inside is going to mean I have to drill that into the center console there, but I know what's behind it. I know there's nothing there. And we're just going to drill that little piece of radio, the little brain of the radio, against there and mount the microphone. So let's get inside. Alright, so there you go. I just got to tuck in those last little bit of wires, which I'm going to tuck in under that piece there. Radio is installed. Seems to be working great. I do want to do a follow-up video driving around with this and kind of trying it out. But for today, I just wanted to make sure we got the install done, and it seems to be working very well. I'm pleased with the radio. I am going to put they have a little double stick thing there that you can hook the microphone on. So I am going to put that up, and I'm pretty darn happy with it. Install was fairly simple, and really what I did the video for today was for those of you who are new hams who might be afraid to, install something on your car or don't want to permanently damage it. I mean, we saw the antenna mount, and that antenna mount was no problem at all. That was perfectly fine. That won't cause any damage at all. So definitely give it a try. If you're a new ham, try the stuff out and see how it works for you. I'm going to go tuck in those cables under there, and we'll see how it goes. I will put a link to the radio, the mount, all that stuff, the antenna, all of it in the description down below. Don't forget to check out all our other links. We have our Amazon affiliate store down there, our freeze-dried wholesaler link. That was the time to get stocked up on food, and he's got pretty much everything you could think of freeze-dried. You get a 15% discount if you use my link. Just click that link and you'll save 15%. We have our Thrive Life link down there as well. Don't forget to check that out. We've got lots of freeze-dried food options there too as well. And our My Patriot Supply link, which is preparewiththeridium.com. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. Quick little install. We're going to be doing more testing with the radio in the future, but I wanted you to see it and see how it goes in, how easy that was to do. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.